श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। ஷீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
வேதாந்தாச்சார்யவர்யோ சந்நிதத்தாம் சதா ராமானுஜதயா வாஸ்தம் ஞான வைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்தேசிகம். ஸ்ரீரொன்று தோப்போ திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர போவளவும் வாழ்வு.
ராமோ விக்கிரகவான் தர்மஹா என்று உடம்பில் உடம்பில் சிஷ்டதயா பிரசித்தியை ஏறிட்டுக் கொண்டு the word Shishtataya has to be seen in the notes first, number 1, in the page 107. Shishtataya Nallurukam. Okay. Because Sanskrit is to be understood. Now, Rama as Vibhavavatara, as incarnation, wanted to show what goodness is. So Shishtata is goodness. Shishtaha meaning a good person. A good person, according to Sanskrit word Shishtaha meaning Anushtata, one who follows the rules of Dharma Shastra. That is, he performs all duties perfectly. And he is a well-wisher of all. He is good to all, and that is the meaning of the very beautiful word, which we cannot have in any other language. You can say anybody as a sadhu, good man, son means good man, but Shishtaha is different. Shishtaha meaning one who follows the rules of propriety, that is dharma. He has thoughts, words and deeds are same, namely towards the good for the other people. He is good to other people. So Shishtataya, Rama was an incarnation of the propriety, dharma, the justice, the righteousness. So he was the personification. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha is personification. The physical form in flesh and blood of what righteousness is. Vigrahavan Dharmaha. If you want to see Dharma, which is an abstract concept, you can see Rama. That's all. So tangible and visible, touchable, and so on. So Shishtataya Prasiddhi Erittukondu. He became ordinary human being, rather, of course, born in a royal family to Dasharatha. So Shishtataya Prasiddhi. He wanted popularity. So he wanted fame to, as a human being, to show to us as an example that we can follow all the rules without any difficulty. Namely, here the main point is giving protection to the surrendered people, obeying the parents, have true friendship, and so on. So all these lessons are coming from the incarnation of Rama. Shishta Prasiddhi Erittukondu. Actually, he superimposed on himself this quality just for making us understand. It is not that he doesn't possess these qualities, but generally we say God is supreme, God is far away, God is in Vaikuntham, therefore he is not easily approachable. He is always moving away from us, so we cannot go near him. So these are all certain thoughts that we get because he is because of his supremacy, because he is enormous power, and therefore he wanted to show that he is accessible, and therefore he became the incarnation of personification of dharma. So ஏறிட்டுக்கொண்டு இத்தனை காலமும் நம்முடைய கை பார்த்து நாட்டார் அனுஷ்டிக்கும்படி நடந்து போந்து இன்று சரணாகத காத்தம் பண்ணினால் நாடு என்பட கெடுவது. Now, till he arrived at the seashore, where Vibhishana came and surrendered, all followed Rama. The citizens of Ayodhya, the subjects of Kosala kingdom, the followers of Guha, the tribal in the forest, the sages in the forest, so all of them wanted to imitate Rama, wanted to follow Rama. They followed Rama exactly. They always understood the principles taught by Rama's incarnation. They all followed. When Rama was a guide to all, mentor to all, friend to all, so Ittanai Kalamu, till he arrived in Kishkinda, even after his arrival in Kishkinda, he showed that Sugriva could be given shelter. He could be saved from the treacherous elder brother Vali. And therefore, Ittanai Kalamum, Nammude Kai Parthu meaning looking at the way Rama behaves. Nattar Anushtinkumbadi, all people followed him. Nadandu Pondu, so having set as an example, having set himself as a role model for all, then Indra today, supposing Vibhishana is rejected, Sharanagata Ghatam, that is the fourth letter, Ghatam Panni, mean killing the policy of Sharanagata, rather killing of the surrendered person, that is killing of Vibhishana. So Sharanagata Ghatam Panninal, if I kill Vibhishana, Nadu en Padakadavu. What will happen to the country, people who followed me till today, till this moment? Of course, there are so many common policies to be followed by the people. But in my particular case, Madvidaha, Nammude Vratam Pindu Sallakadavum. So there is some peculiarity with my case. That is how I can win over Ravana. I was confident of winning over Ravana. Rather, I was confident of recovering Sita. I was confident of having good friendship with Vibhishana, which all others cannot imagine. Ravana, to win over Ravana, or win over the heart of Ravana, both are difficult. Both are difficult for others. Whereas I can do it. Nammuடைய விரதம் my vow, பின்பு சொல்ல கடவும். I will reveal to you about my vow. My vow from the Charama Shloka is Sarvabhutebhyaha dadami abhayam etat vratam mama. I am going to tell you about this later. But this is normal. What is normal? What is ordinary is samanyaha yam dharma setuhu narana. So anybody who has fallen, not that a demon from the enemy side coming and falling down at the feet, but generally, a person seeking help. Samanyahayam. So this is common. This is ordinary, very ordinary. Dharma setuhu. This is the what you call benchmark, we say. Benchmark. That is setu. This is a benchmark for righteousness of all the people. Naranam. The entire human society has got the benchmark of righteousness in general. So let us not talk about Vibhishana and say it is not possible for us to protect Vibhishana like you. Because he is a demon, because he comes from the enemy's side, because he is not his previous background history is not known, and therefore he is an invincible person. So all that what you call apprehensions and the diffidence in accepting Vibhishana may be there, but not in anybody's case. Apart from Vibhishana, all of us, all the people should follow Rama in the policy of Sharanagata Raksham. So, என்கிறபடியே நம் போலிகள் எல்லாருக்கும் இதுவே பொதுவாய் காணும் இருப்பது. So, taking the case of any human being with any surrenderer, the policy is applied. That's all. Sharanagata Rakshanam is applied. Abhaya Pradanam is applied to any individual by any individual. Madvidaha, Nampoligal Sharanagatani Viduvarhalo. So having made the monkeys, especially Sugriva as the son of Surya, the sun god, and all other monkeys are also God's children, you can say, God's incarnations. Therefore, they know the prowess of Rama. They understood earlier that Rama was only Vishnu, and therefore they will understand that Rama could protect Vibhishana. Nampoligal Sharanagatani Viduvarhalo. Whereas in an ordinary case, unlike Vibhishana, everybody should follow the policy of protecting the surrenderer. Now the next point is, he says, this is not my attitude. This is not my attitude. What is that? Himsa abhiruchigalakiyale. Himsa abhiruchigalakiyale. There are people like Ravana who are always indulging in violence. They revel in doing violence to others. They always take pleasure in killing others, disturbing others, especially gods. So even Ravana did not spare the demons also, his own followers. He threatened all his army soldiers. If you don't do the duty which I assigned, you will be slaughtered, killed. So himsa abhiruchiha, always violent in nature. Taking deep interest in abhiruchi is deep interest in doing violence. Avadhyari vadikavalla Ravanadigalukandro ippadi kotta karyangal rusipadu. he only will find happiness in killing his own brother Vibhishma. So Avadhyare Vadikavalla. Ravana knows that such and such a person should not be killed. One example is, unfortunately, in a war, Ravana beheaded Shurpanaka's husband. That was, I think, accidental. That was not the aim for Ravana, but it was a flash incident that Ravana committed the mistake of killing Shurpanaka's husband. Shurpanaka is not even the blood sister. Shurpanaka is not a blood sister. She is only a cousin. So she is only a Sasa, and not Sahodari. And unfortunately, she was made a widow by him. And therefore, she took vengeance. She took vengeance on Ravana. Because her husband was killed by him, Ravana. So Ravana, of course, did not mean to kill husband of Shurpanaka. And whenever he sees somebody who should not be killed, he takes pleasure in killing him. So Avadhyare Vadikavalla Ravanadiyalikandro Ippadi Kotta Karyangal Rushipadu. Taking for example, all the demons of the previous birth also, namely Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, and even other demons, all other demons disturbed the sages in the forest. The sages were innocent. They didn't trouble Ravana, but Ravana troubled them. So he took pleasure in giving trouble to them. And therefore, Avadhyari Vadikavalla. One should not be killed, was killed. And that was the, what we call, forte, speciality, and he liked it. Ravana liked it. Ippadi kotta karyangal rushipadu. So in our case, killing a surrenderer is never in our books. That's what he says. So Janaha, Maddido Janaha is the. So now look at the notes. Maryadanancha lokasya karta karita cha saha. If you want to, I mean, can you show the note number 4 in the text? Note number 4, yes. 4. Samanyoyam dharma setu naranam. The other line is, the first half of the second half is Maryadanancha lokasya karta karita cha saha. Saha, he, namely Rama, rather here it means God Almighty. Karta, he is the doer. The Lokasya Karta, he is the creator of the world. The Karayita, he makes us do activities. Karayita. What kind of activities? Maryadanam. Maryadanam is the Sanskrit Maryada, in Tamil it means respect, but Maryada is limit. There are some limitations of activities. He carries out, Lord Almighty carries out the activities, and he also gives us the duty of performing some activities. So Maryadanam Lokasya meaning, Maryadanam meaning many activities of this world with limitations. So Karayita, he makes us do. And therefore this is Dharma Setur Narana, what we call Samanyoyam, namely, for example, the first line is what we call particular example, and the second is common. Namely, he makes us follow the policy of surrender, and he makes us extend protection to our surrenderers. When somebody seeks help, he instructs us to be helpful. He instructs us to be helpful. And therefore, so Karayita. So we saw the word Ghataha, kolai, ingu kaividudal. That is Sharanagata Ghataha. Surrenderer cannot be killed. Samanyayam Dharma Seturanam. இது எல்லா வாணியர்களுக்கும் பொதுவான தர்மமாகிற ஆணை. This is Sundarakandam, 35th canto, 11th verse. உலகங்களுக்கு தர்மத்தை விதிப்பவனும் விதித்தபடி அனுஷ்டிக்கும்படி செய்பவனும் அவனே. So he formulated rules of the world and he makes us follow the rules of the world. That is also there. We go to 108. So Sharanagathani பரித்தியஜித்தவன் என்ன பிறப்பு பிறந்தானாக கடவன். நம்போலிகளுக்கு ஜன்ம பிரயோஜனம் சரணாகத ரக்ஷணம். Now the problem is this: suppose someone does not protect the surrenderer, that means the one who gives up the surrenderer, who does not give shelter to the surrenderer, will have what we call a lowly birth. Enna pirappu pirandanaha kadavan, meaning, so he will have he will accrue sins by not protecting the surrenderer, and therefore he will fall into a bad species in the next birth. I think Bhagavad Gita shloka Keshavdas Swami shall be able to say. Asura Yoni, the word is there, Asura Yoni. People who did not do their duty properly will be born in the clan of demons. Asura Yonim Ashritaha. These are the words. Here, Nampoligaliki Janma Prayojanam Saranagata Rakshanam. So people like us, now Rama, though an incarnation of the Almighty, reminds the monkeys every time that all of them are one and the same. All of them belong to only one group. Rama and monkeys always belong to one group. So what is the group is? Policy is common. The policy is common to the whole group. Janma Prayojanam Saranagata Rakshanam. If we have another birth, so that birth also should be a nice birth, good birth, and therefore the protection of the surrenderer will lead to a good birth. So Janma Prayojanam. And we also say, when we are born as human beings, then our life purpose will be fulfilled only when we protect the surrender. We say in Sanskrit, Janma Saphalyam. Janma Saphalyam. The fruit of our birth will be obtained by protecting the surrender. Janma Prayojanam Sharanagata Rakshanam. That means either for this birth, our birth must be fruitful. That means our birth should be sinless. Our birth should be full of merits. And therefore, we must protect the surrender. Shishtanushtanam pramaname ahilum. Now, the question again comes, the doubt comes in the mind of people like us, namely, was the story of bird true? Was the story of bird true? Kapota was the story of the pigeon. Was the activity of the pigeon true? We suspect. We don't believe. We don't have faith in the story of the bird, that the bird protected the hunter from cool climate. It gave flesh to appease his hunger. So, is there any authority to know where from this story occurs? So, Shishtanushtanam pramaname ahilum. So, with regard to human beings, we know what is right, and therefore, when we see others, elders follow some activity according to the rules, we can understand the authority. But whereas oru kapotham anushthithathu endoru pramanam undu. Have we heard of in any book, say Shastra like scriptures, that a pigeon protected the hunter? So, oru kapotham anushthithathu endoru pramanam undu. Should you not give proof, O Rama? The monkeys seem to say. You must give proof, authority, good source that where this story of the pigeon occurs. So, idukku vidhayakama iruppadoru vakyam vendavo. So, vidhayakam is to establish, to support this underlying principle. Is there any sentence in any book? So, vakyam vendavo enkira shankayale, when there was doubt. So, when Rama explained to the monkeys, especially Sugriva, that Vibhishana should be accepted because of the two stories. One story of the bird, Kapotha, one story of the bear and a man, the third story, one story of the monkey and a man, monkey and a hunter. So anyway, so in all these three stories, what is the authority? The monkeys are asking. So Rama is giving the answer without questions. So Shankayale, because of the apprehension, because of the doubt and fear over Vibhishana's acceptance, Yanbanuru, Kandu, Shankayale Kandu, Rama understood the minds of monkeys. And then Kandu Yanbanuru Maharishi Kandadur Kadayi Kelit Indra. So there was a great sage called Kandu. And that he gave the story. So whenever a sage says the story, it is authoritative. It is called pramanam. It is considered as a real source. So Rishehe Kannasya Putrena, Kanduna Paramarshina, Shrunugatham Puragitam, Dharmishtam Satyavadinam. He gives a preamble, prelude to, Rama gives prelude to this story. So there is a sage called Kanva. So Kanva had a son, and his name is Kandu. So both of them are great sages. So Kanva's son is Kandu. Both, so they are called the Paramarishi. That means they know the truth, universal truth. They know the highest truth. Shrunu, all of you monkeys, you please listen to me. Gatham, the song, the story. Pura Gitam, sung earlier, sung long ago. Pura Gitam, Pura long ago, Gitam sung. Dharmishtam, story of righteousness, a story of good policies. Satyavadina, no great sage tells lies. No great sage tells lies. That's what Rama said to Kaikeyi also. Anritam nokta purvam. Anritam nokta purvam. Nacha vakshe kadachana. Kaikeyi hurried up Rama to go to the forest fast. And along with Sita and Lakshmana, he is exiting Ayodhya. But I don't know why she hurried up. And lest there will be change, Bharata will arrive earlier and stop Rama from going to the forest. And the Dasharatha's boon was not actually heard from Dasharatha's mouth by Rama. Kaikeyi only said, I asked him boons and he gave. So you have to go to the forest for 14 years. That's all. So these words were taken as true by Rama. And immediately he was asked to wear the bark garments. Valkalam, we say. And Sita was also offered the bark garments. And she was asked to part with her jewels and so on. So what happened with, Rama said immediately to Kaikeyi, 2 sentences. Andratam na ukta purvam. I follow Dasharatha in toto, in letter and spirit. Never Dasharatha told a lie. I never say untruth. And therefore, Andratam na ukta purvam. I have not said untruth earlier. Nacha vakshe kadachana. I will not say in future also. And then Ramo dirnabhi bhashate. Rama said to Kaikeyi, Rama will not in 2 ways. Rama dvirnabhi bhashate. Ramo dvirnabhi bhashate. First accepting the boon of Kaikeyi, I say, I will go to the forest. Next moment, I will not say, I will not go to the forest. So now Ramo dirnabhi bhashate. In 2 strains, I will not talk opposite to each other. Therefore, so the word Satyavadina is given for this Kandu Maharishi, both Kandu and his father Kanva. So Kandu endra Maharishiinuடைய Janma Prakashate Murpada Kelir. Now let us understand how great was Kandu's birth. Kandu was a great sage, and Janma Prakashate, the very birth is noble. So Murpada Kelir. Please understand before accepting Vibhishana. Murpada Kelir. Rishehe. The Tamil translation I can read if you know. Kanvarishiin Putranum Satyavadiyumana Kandu என்கிற மகிழ்ச்சியினால் தர்மங்களை அறிவிப்பதும் வேதம் முதலியவளை அனுசரித்தே முன் ஓதப்பட்டதுமான இந்த செய்யுளை கேளும். Janma Prakasha meaning பிறவியின் ஏற்றம், the greatness of his birth. So let us go to 109. Kanvasya Putrena. So by the son of Kanva. தான் தோன்றி அன்றிக்கே அவனுடைய பிதாவும் சதுர்வேதாத்தியாயியாய் அத்தீந்திரிய திரஷ்டாவாய் காணும் இருப்பது. Kandu was the chip of the old block. Atmavai putranamasi is the Vedic sentence which says that father is imitated by the son in all respects. The son is the Xerox of the father. So, Tan Tondri Andrike, so Kandu did not act what you call independently, and he did not become autocratic in his activity. He followed his father in every aspect. Avanude Pitavum, so both of them are Chaturveda Adhyayi. They know all the 4 scriptures. They have studied, mastered all the 4 scriptures. Then Atindriya Drashtavai, both of them have supernatural vision. That is, they can go beyond their normal human vision. That means they can go beyond these sense organs in looking at the God. They have understood the God. Drashta meaning seer, S-E-E-R, Drashta. Exact translation, meaning sage. That means they have understood the God. They know how God is. So, Atindriya Drashtavai, they have supravision. Both of them have supravision. And therefore, their statement is always true. That's what Rama wants to show to the monkeys. Anal, Parapadin Kutti Tavaradire. Now, we know in Tamil about the tiger, proverb about the tiger. தாய் 8 அடி பாய்ந்தா குட்டி 16 அடி பாயும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம் தமிழ்ல. When the mother tiger jumps over 8 feet, the cub will jump over 16 feet. That's what we say in Tamil. So here, the another proverb in Tamil is Parappadin Kutti Tavadadire. The flying mother, if one has flying mother, then the young one, the child, will not crawl. In the meaning, a bird's say young one, the young one of the bird will also fly like the mother. So when Kanva Maharishi is a great person, great sage, then Kandu also follows him and he is also a great sage. Now Kanvasya Putrena. So Mahatapavana Kanvanakara Maharishiki. Now Kanva Maharishi was a great penance doer. So Mahatapasvi we say in Sanskrit. So Tapodhanaha we say. So his wealth is penance. So he has performed great penance, Mahatapavan. So he is a great, Kanva was a great sage. And Samsara Nistarakanai Kanum even Parandu. So he made his father, Kandu made his father Kanva very happy because, for an example, is just like Shuka Brahmam, Shuka Maharishi of Vyasa. So he actually excelled his father, surpassed his father. So Samsara Nistarakanai. So Kandu could redeem people from this life. He could help people get moksha and reach Vaikuntha. So Samsara Nistarakanai, Kanum even Perandu. So Kandu was born to Kanva as a better son, rather better than the father. That even Kanva did not do it, but Kandu helped people to cross over this life. Samsara life, Nistarakanai, helping to cross over. So Kanvasya Putrena Kanduna, Pitavin Peralum, Tan Peralum, Prasiddhanai Kanum. Kandu was popular and equally famous was his father. You can say this way also. Both of them were equally famous. Pitavin Peralum, because he is called the son of the father. And therefore, he also became very famous. And Tan Peralum, he also established his own name. And therefore, all people appreciated both of them. Prasiddhanai Kanum iruppu. Now, Kanduna, Avantan Permi Partal. So if you want to look at the greatness of Kandu's birth, Maharishikal Kondadumbadiyana, all sages, all great sages adored Kandu. So Maharishikal Kondadumbadiyana Perudayan Urvan Kandu. All the great sages, without any exception, appreciated Kandu. Vishehe Putrena Paramarshina. These are the words that we had in the verse. So Yasya Syat Shrotriyah Pita. So what I said, the chip of the old block, when the father has mastered the scriptures, the son also should follow suit. So it is not enough that the father is the master of scriptures, but son also must have mastered the scriptures. That's what happened in the case of Kanva and Kandu. Sachapi Bhagavan Kandu. So Bhagavan Kandu, whenever we refer to great sages, we mention the word Bhagavan also. That means so celebrated, so great. He is almost like an almighty. Bhagavan Valmikihi, Bhagavan Vedavyasaha. We always say. So Bhagavan Kandu was also so celebrated, very high, like the Almighty in quality. And so also his father Kanva. Chaturvedadhyayi, Nangu Vedangalayum Odinavar, Atindriya Drashta, Pulangalukku Ettadavathyam Neril Parpavar, Mahatapaha, Periya Tapasviyana, Nistaraka, Samsarathilirundu Karayettruvavar. Now, Manusmriti says this, Yasya Syat Shrotriyah Pita, third chapter, third canto, 137th verse. Yasyasya Shrotriya Pita, meaning you can understand the son of a father by looking at his knowledge, and we can easily deduce that father is also a scholar in scriptures. So if the son is a master of scriptures, we can understand his father also is a master of scriptures. எவனுடைய பிதா வேதங்களை ஓதினவராய் இருப்பாரோ சச்சாபி பகவான் கண்டுகு. Vishnu Purana says in the first what we call chapter, 5th canto, 52nd verse, ஞான சக்திகள் நிறைந்த கண்டு பகவானும். So as we see the word Bhagavan, Bhaga contains all these 6 qualities: Jnanam, Balam, Aishwaryam, Shakti, Tejaha, Viryam. So 6 qualities. So all the 6 qualities are found in the sage also. Both sages, namely father and the son, namely Kanva and Kanva. Now let us go to page 110. விளக்கில் கொளுத்தின பந்தம் என்னும்படி காணும். Generally we say a teacher should be like a lamp from which another lamp is also lit, meaning that a teacher should create a Shishya Parampara, a generation of students which will speak volumes of the greatness of the preceptor. The preceptor should develop a student generation. Otherwise, the preceptor life is purposeless. So, விளக்கில் கொளுத்தின பந்தம் என்னும்படி. This is little better than what we have in normal. So, lighting a lamp through another lamp. This is better now. விளக்கில் கொளுத்தின. So, from a lamp, you can the fire flame of a small lamp. You take a pandam. Pandam is what we use in Lord Almighty's tour of streets and going out of the temple, in order that we have a good vision of the Lord. It's a beautiful natural vision that we can have by looking at the Lord in the natural light. In the artificial light, you have what we call floodlight, many arc lights. If they are focused on the God, you can see. But the natural beauty will be understood only when you have natural light from the fire. The fire, what we call pandam, I don't think we have English equivalent. It's a long stick in which a long cloth is wound round and with a lot of oil, and many people carry these sticks so that we can understand the beauty of the Lord in natural light. A small lamp can light up a big flame. காணும் பிரகாச பகுளனான பிதாவிலங்காட்டில். Already Kanva is known. Kanva sage, the great sage, has been known by the world. Prakasha Bahulanan. His fame is high. Prakasha is here rather light. The light is here fame. The fame is very high. Bahulanana. Bahula is a lot. So Pitavilangatil, more than the father, இவனுடைய ஞான விகாசம் இருக்கும்படி. Kandu's knowledge development is higher than father's knowledge, father's fame. Father is already very much known, namely Kanva, but Kandu's fame is more than what father has. Shrunu, இத்தனை நாளும் இக்காதை உம்முடைய செவியில் படாமையிலே நீர் இப்படி கலங்குகிறது. Even as gods, these monkeys did not know earlier the fame of both great sages, namely Kanva and Kandu. So since all of you must not have heard this kind of greatness of these two people and their stories. So you are all perturbed by saying not to accept Vibhishana. So itte avahitarai keli. So please hear attentively. So you are all disturbed in your mind whether I should accept Vibhishana. Now you please listen carefully. Avahitarai keli. Gatham. So இது பெரிய பொருள்களை எல்லாம் பொதிந்து கொண்டு எளிதாக கேட்கலாம்படி சுருங்கின பாசுரமாய் காணும். It's a big story, but it is in brief. So Gatha is in a song, in the form of a song. It's a story of with a great big song, but all the verses are not given here, I think. And therefore, he gave all the important principles, great principles contained in a small verse. So that everybody can understand all the great principles in a single verse. Shuringina Pasuramai Kanumil. Pura Gita. So meaning the song was sung at first. That was the first story, first song heard by all people on the greatness of the birth of Kandu. So this is not artificial. This is not what we call concocted story. So Indru Mudalaha Kattinadondu Andu Kanum is. This is not a story which I created today. Rama says to monkeys. So this is not a new story imagined. So Vedam Bola Parayada Irupudun. Just like scriptures, this story is very ancient. So Geetam, Kanduvana Maharishi Mittai Srishtittan Endru Irade Kidir. So Kandu Maharishi said the story, but the story was existent earlier than Kandu. Even before Kandu was born to Kandva, the story was there. The story existed. It is the story is older than Kandu. Riggai Samamaha Paduma Pole, Pande Ulladandre Avan Padinan Attanai. So all of you know that, all of us know that Rigveda is sung, Rigveda hymns are sung in Samaveda. Just like the Sama Veda is a song of the rigs in Rigveda, the hymns in Rigveda. Kandu sang the song which was ancient. Pande Ulladandrai, the earlier song which was available to him, Avan Padinan, Kandu sang. Attani, that's all. Geetam. So he sang the song. Avan Shaidan Ahilum. So even though he sang the song, the singing was very much soothing to the feelings of human beings. So Anda Samadhvani Pole, just like the Samaveda is sung from the hymns of Rig Veda, so also the story when we hear, the song which we hear from the mouth of Kandu will be removing all our sufferings. Samasta papangalayam pokavatrai kanum iruppu. All sins will be removed. All our sins will be removed by hearing the song by Kandu. That's great sage. So Dharmishtam. So it's a true story, story of righteousness. Dharmishtam. It's not a story of violence like the biography of Ravana. So Dharmishtam. So Poliyana Dharmangali Polandike. So it doesn't give wrong principles and presented them as right principles. So they are not fake. They are not fake. Today in WhatsApp, we get lot of fake news. In YouTube, we see lot of fake videos. So there is no fakeness here in this story. Everything was true. போலியான தர்மங்களை போல நிற்கும். Many people create some fake concepts. Today also, initially, Yashoda Swami was asking whether Lakshmi Narasimha can be worshipped at home. There is no taboo. Here also we have some thinking that a photo of Bhagavad Gita Upadesha, Arjuna getting advice from Lord Krishna, people discourage our portrayal of the photo in our house. No photo of Gita Upadesha is to be hung on the walls in our house. Then another beautiful taboo is Krishna with flute. Lord Krishna with the flute is not the right photo to be hung on the wall. Krishna with the flute. So all these are all some. And once upon a time we had also in our house two. Why no Gita Upadesha? Because the Gita Upadesha contains a lot of philosophy, and Arjuna did not listen to the Gita Upadesha. Arjuna was not a good student. That is the reason. Another one is there are 2 or 3 photos which we had in our house. Draupadi Vastrapaharanam. The Tamil, the why no flute for Lord Krishna is Tamil puriyum. Tamil negative தான். Negative, it's a negative aspect. ஊதி போயிடும் சொல்லுவாங்க. ஊதி போயிடும் சொன்னா all will become empty. ஊதுறதுங்கிறது playing the flute. So when Krishna plays the flute, and when you even keep a photo, it's a still photo, no? It's a still photo, but still we say we have some what we call what do you say? It's a superstitious belief. Superstitious belief is this. Gita Upadesha, flute with Krishna.
Will ever Krishna do that, Swami? This is really something which I cannot even. Will ever Krishna blow out anything, even though he has a flute, Swami? I think it's really.
So
there is no. Will he ever do something bad for us? Will he ever do bad for us? And also the Gita Upadesham is, if Arjuna doesn't listen, at least somebody else can listen. So why should we not have it?
That's why I'm listing. I'm going and giving another 2 examples. One is Draupadi Vastrapaharanam. It is done on the assembly. Yeah, it is done on the assembly. And Krishna saves her by giving the clothes, dress, so sari. So, Krishna Dwaraka Vasin Kasi Yadavanandana Imam Avastam Sampraptam Anatham Kimu Pekshase Sharana Shankachakra Gadapane Dwaraka Nalayachuta Govinda Mundari Gaksha Lakshamam Saranakatam. So, when these 2 verses were said, Krishna offered sari to Draupadi so that she was not disrobed in the public. And that kind of photo should not be hung on the wall. Again, Gajendra Rakshanam. The protection of the elephant from the crocodile. And thirdly, Tulabharam. Thus, Satyabhama fought with Rukmini, and and Rukmini had the privilege of putting a tulasi leaf, basil leaf, on the balance, on one plate of the balance. The other balance had Lord Krishna. Whereas Satyabhama tried with all her jewels. So these photos should not be hung on the wall. That's right. So these are all some what you call superstitious beliefs. What I understand is some negative pictures, rather rather talking about the negative incidents in the Mahabharata or anywhere. So we are not supposed to look at it every day. But whereas, as Madam says, Gita is good. So, Poliyana Dharmaninga Pontre, Pratyaksha Shruti Siddhamana Parama Dharma Dharmate Vishayamaha Udaitai Kanum Ikadi. So we will take up the next line, next session, Satyavadina from page 111. Pratyaksha Shruti Siddhamana. These two sages, great sages, namely Kanva and Kandu, could see these scriptures in their vision. Whereas we can understand straight away the scriptures by looking at reading the scriptures. Pratyaksha Shruti Siddhamana. Paramadharmate. What is the highest righteousness? We can understand through this song. Vishayamaha, this is the content of the song, namely Paramadharma. Paramadharma is the highest righteousness, can be understood from this song of Kandu, which is already ancient. This is not new created by Kandu. Because he is a truth teller, Satyavadina. So Prakasha Bagula Adhiga Jnanate Odaya. Prakasha Bagula is what I said to you. The father is more knowledgeable. So Jnana Vikasa, Jnanatin Paravadal. So this is also, son is also good in knowledge. So in development of knowledge. Gavanamai, Elloralam Ipodu Odapadagara Shrutil Kadepada. There are some Shrutis are not available today. This is what is said about the Shrutis. 1/9 portion is available now. 1/9 portion of scriptures are available. Then eight parts of the scriptures are not available. So within the available scriptures, we can understand this story. Now your question.
The question is the text which is used here, even though it is Tamil language, it seems to be not. It is not in usage in the current the usage of the accent and the language. Tamil language is currently used is totally different. So, right. Which century it belongs to this text?
Script. Actually, Keshoda Swami can answer this question, but Professor A. Srinivasaraghavacharya from Pudukkottai, he was a professor of Sanskrit in Maharaja's College. He wrote the commentary. Vedanta Deshika belongs to from actually 1268 to 1369. 1268 to 1369. 101 years he lived, Vedanta Deshika. But Vedanta Deshika's text, that is text, of course, that is written in, as he said, 13th century, 13th to mid 14th century. So, and this is what we call not exactly Manipravalam, but it contains both Sanskrit words and Tamil words. Manipravala style is another style is there. So you have the Sanskrit words in the Manipur text itself, plus Tamil words. If you can, I think he will give us. We have a lot of examples now today. Manipravala. Even Vedanta Deshika gave Manipravala books. Here it is Tamil words are given in Sanskrit. Sanskrit words are given in Tamil. That's the problem with understanding the Tamil spelling. The one example is Sharanagata Ghatam. Sharanagata Ghatam. So I read it fortunately as Ghatam. If you read some other letter Ka, any other letter Ka out of 4, it is not understood. So Ghatam, killing, surrender. Ghataha is killing. The notes also said Kai Vidudal, giving up, surrender. So, this style is different. That is why we need some explanations. And because Sanskrit words are introduced in the Tamil commentary, and therefore it is very difficult.
So you
for
learned,
those who do not know either Tamil or Sanskrit or both, can find it difficult.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Since it is mixed with Sanskrit, I think you are since you are proficient in Sanskrit and Tamil as well, so you are able to interpret it in a right way.
That is how I learned. Of course, English also. Along with English, I studied both Sanskrit and Tamil, and therefore it is easy for me to. There are many people available today. This is a simple Tamil commentary. This is simple Tamil commentary. There are more difficult commentaries in Manipravada. You please, Mohan Swami, you please look at Ragasya Trayasara of Vedanta Deshika. That will have a lot of Sanskrit words into the commentary itself. Sanskrit words in Sanskrit spelling. That's only is called the Manipravada. But this is
we would love to hear it from you, Swami.
Definitely, we are taking up the next one. Thanks to you for presence. Okay. So let us meet tomorrow after Tani. Swami.
Ramanujadaya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimat Venkatanatharyam Vande Vedanta Desigam Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Kurave Namaha Sirunnu Tupul Trivengadamudayan Parunnu Chonna Paramuriyul Orunnu Thane Amayado Tharanil Valvarku Vanera Pomalavum Valvu
Vadidvipa Shirobhanga Panchalana Parakramaha Sriman Venkatanatharya Chiram Vijayatam Bhuvi. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks to Madam.
Namo Namaha, Swami.
Thank you, Swami. Thank you for explaining a little bit about the fake news also.
Right.
But as I said in the chat, in Vrindavan, they have a deity called Banka Bihari. And the story is that they had, when they put the flute in his hand, he goes off for the Rasa Lila.
Okay.
So they only put it one day a year. If they put it in the other, they're afraid to put it every day because they don't want him to go.
Oh. But another beauty in, as Madam said, Krishna playing a flute, once we observe how he plays, because we have not had the opportunity to witness him directly. So imagine that he plays the flute. The way in which he plays the flute, what you call the gentle play, with the movements of all his expressions, and as in Bharatanatyam, his face expressions, his hand expressions, and even his hip expression, like dancing. So he's dancing in a different manner, a rather beautiful manner, a graceful manner. Tribhanga, yeah. So these are all enjoyable according to the beauty, according to the handsomeness of Lord Krishna. And therefore, it's not simply playing flute, but his movement also. Kopala Vimshati of Vedanta Deshika explains that.
Actually, there's one more. There's one more interpretation of this. People used to say Krishna with go Pashu. The picture is okay because it should not be alone, something like that. So that is one thing. And Nasimha is being very cruel to the Hiranyakashipu he killed. So he was his anger was brought down by Lakshmi Devi. So he should always have a picture of Narasimha with Lakshmi. That is
Right, right, that's right. And when you come to the temple Srirangam, in one of the pillars in the Tayar Sannidhi, you will find Lakshmi Narasimha tearing the body of Hiranyakashipu. That we may not like to worship.
Thank you, sir.
With a violent face.
So there's a carving of Lakshmi Narasimha killing,
Yeah.
or is it only
Not
Narasimha?
Lakshmi Narasimha.
Ugra Narasimha.
Just Narasimha.
Ah.
And we say in the Avatara, even Lakshmi could not appease his anger. Therefore, Prahlada was responsible for bringing down his fury.
Right. So many of the temples they put a cloth. If there's a Hiranya there, they put a cloth over the Hiranya so that you don't see this. And then only on Narasimha Jayanti they take it off and everybody gets that special darshan.
Right. But my question is also here, namely, why should we make more terrible than the real terrible Narasimha? We give lot of what you call contractions in face of the lion, which we don't need. So the what you call the manes, the hairs on the locks of hair on the head of the lion, and then it looks very odd because he became angry. Okay, so why don't you show a Shanta face, or rather a calm face of Narasimha? Not so terrible, not so terrible. Every temple you go there, we find that very terrible face.
The thing that I see, which I cannot understand, is we have these deities of Hayagriva with the horse face, and sometimes that deity will have horse ears and also human ears.
Right.
Two different sets of ears.
Right.
This I can't understand. He should have the horse ear or he should have the human ear. One or the other, no?
Swami, can you interpret this angry face of Lakshmi Narasimha, that he's so angry that he treated his devotee so much, Prahlada, that he cannot get over that. So he's so much angry, he just want to do something bad, the Rakshasa, to his father. That he is so angry about or devotee, and he can't get over that anger. So that's why he's so angry, he's trying to.
Right. We can understand one's anger.
I know, I agree with you, Shantama irukano, but I think he cannot be Shantam at all because he is so upset.
Right.
That is the love for his devotee.
No. Why do we depict a very terrible lion? Even the lion may be calm. See, if you go into the zoo and find a lion, the lion looks hard at you. That's all. The terror. I don't understand it. We get to fear out of worshipping Narasimha.
I think to me, I love him so much because he loves Prahlada so much. That means he loves me.
No. Okay, that also can be taken. But why do we depict Hanuman with open teeth? Hanuman is very ugly in all the vahanams of
that I agree.
Hanuman is ugly. The horse, when the Kudare Vahanam varaadilla, Kudare Vahanatla purapadu. The Kudare வந்து ஏன் அவ்வளவு அசிங்கமா குதிரை இருக்கா?
I know, I agree. That's
why do you want to make it terrible? The horse is not angry.
That's true.
And the horse opens the mouth and shows all the teeth.
Yeah.
And as Keshav Swami said, the fangs.
Yeah. Hearts is generally very mild. Yeah.
Everything we depict very terribly.
Yeah.
Other, what you call Yali Vahanam.
Yali is very bad. Yeah, that is
true. See, children will get afraid of.
Yeah.
We have what you call we must tell the what you call sculptors not to make Yali Vahanam is killing elephant.
Yeah.
So look at Hanuman, look at the horse.
So Swami, also there's some meaning there. Some of these people, sculptors and people who know iconography, they say that when we see the depiction of Yali or a lion killing the elephant, it is symbolic of Hinduism triumphing over Buddhism.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So there's some scholars who say like that.
Right.
Too extreme.
So supposing you have a Hayagriva on the Vahanam and the Vahanam is horse, there was a demon called Hayagriva. So the demon Hayagriva was put down by Lord Hayagriva. So there you can put the horse face very terrible. But ordinary horse, I don't know. So we must have only in South India you find that the gods Divya Mangala Vigrahas are handsome, beautiful. Whereas in North you find Hanuman or Vinayaka or anyway just two dots over for eyes, a big figure of what you call arsenic material. Sinduram.
Probably after the destruction of temples during the Mughal period and all, before that probably the architecture it was so advanced and all the temples have beautiful faces of the Lord. But after the destruction of the temples, those who created the idols in the subsequent period, post Mughal and British period. So those things are all not there are not that experienced sculptors.
Right. The skills have come down.
Skill set has come down.
Okay. That's right.
Okay, I don't agree with this at all. There are many beautiful deities or murtis in North India in marble of Krishna and Rama, and you just have to go to Vrindavan, you have to go to Ayodhya, Chitrakuta, all these places. So it is just a different style in North India, and they use marble. They don't use the granite stone, so they can do more delicate carving. So it just depends upon the type. There are different ways that the Shilpis make the deities in South India than in North India. It's just according to a different agama.
With regard to your idea that when the marble is used, they are excellent. Pandaripuram.
Jaipur, Makrana. Jaipur and Makrana. Right. These are the places for all marble deities.
All marble idols are very good. Very good. Whereas we are talking about ugly forms.
Yeah, so there are some ugra forms, there are definitely, like you said, with the Hanuman with this orange sindu. It's a type of sindu that they put on. But I've seen that in South India also, in Bangalore. Bangalore is full of Anjaneya Swami temples everywhere.
Right.
So, and they all have this orange tin.
Now they use the angry Hanuman in all the vehicles, that kind of things.
37 feet high Hanuman in Srirangam today. A new Hanuman Sannidhi in Srirangam.
Really? In Srirangam?
Yeah, Melur Road.
Oh, okay.
When you go far away from Srirangam, on the western side, the Hanuman Upasaka of South Chitra Street, he has got funds and created a big Hanuman, 37 feet high. And everything shows.
They have a big Hanuman in Namakkal also.
Oh, yeah, the same way. The same way.
And Bangalore in Mahalakshmi layout,
yeah.
I've seen.
In
Big
many
one.
places, yeah. So they are all not handsome.
But my favorite Hanuman is there in that Madhva compound, just in East Uttar Street, upstairs.
Yeah.
He is looking at Ranganatha. He's looking out the window to Ranganatha. But that one is very beautiful. That one is a beautiful one.
Right.
Ramanujadaya Patram Jnana Vairagya Bhushanam Srimadvenkatanathāryam Vande Vedanta Deshikam Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயண